Buenos días,
Good
bienvenidos.
morning. Welcome all to the special session for the International Virtual Forum on TB 2022. We're gonna have an award session for the Dia de Muertos Literary Contest 2022. This contest has a purpose to spread the message and create awareness about the importance of TB and contributing to the prevention, control, diagnosis, treatment, and follow-up of this disease in our communities. Before we begin, I would like to communicate all the attendees that this session is being recorded and is streamed on Zoom, simultaneously on YouTube, Facebook, and Imagen TV UBC channel. We have a YouTube channel in Spanish with Divulgaré ECS UABC and a YouTube channel in English, which is Remy TV. In this special session, we have Dr. Fatima Luna, who is the director of the Tuberculosis program by the National Center of Preventive and Control Programs of Disease in the Ministry of Health. Dr. Rosa Ivonne Orgel Juarez, specialist doctor by the Tuberculosis National Program in Mexico by the Ministry of Health. Biologist Lenin Escobar Perez, Deputy Minister of Originary Peoples by the Social Inclusion Ministry by the state of Baja California. Dr. Abelar Rojas is an academic operation analyst from the Department of Support for Cultural Education. Now I pass the floor to Dr. Abelar Rojas for a few words. Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome, everyone here. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And well, I want to congratulate all the different institutions and all the people that took part of this project or they are taking part of the project. And as Dr. Muñiz we were talking a couple of weeks ago when she was publishing in the call for this contest, and it said, okay, it was an example how the WABC through the internalization in promotes culture and cooperation with different institutions. So this is the best way to do it, by promoting and highlighting our customs and our habits and our traditions in Mexico. So especially when we can bring light to TB, so we all know, are aware of the situation. We are all aware of the fact that it's there, and so we can understand how we can prevent it. And the best example for this is to buy this kind of sessions. So I want to thank everyone, all the institutions that are got involved in this, and all the people that are organizing this event, and all the participants who sent your literary calaveritas to celebrate this today. Thank you, Mr. Velar. Biologist Lenin Escobar, who is the Deputy Minister of Originary Peoples. He's going to tell us about the importance of this celebration to celebrate our cultures. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. Well, as I said, my name is Lenin Escobar. I'm here by the Deputy Ministry of Originary Peoples here in Baja California. And part of this is the context for in San Quintin, because we have a very cultural diversity in the area. So we're very rich in indigenous traditions, and it's very diverse, as I mentioned, because we have different populations from people from different parts of the country. So this is a very specific area. The 68 indigenous languages that are spoken in here, over 40 of them are spoken here in San Quintin. So we also part of this, UNESCO mentioned this part of the cultural property for humans in 2008. So this big tradition, it is a representative tradition, and it's a community tradition. So it's very important to acknowledge that all these traditional roots we have in this area, despite the fact that it's been a very long process for us to get them all together. So now we have been protecting them throughout the years, and we are very lucky that we have this kind of activities and forums, so the young people get aware of this and they learn about their culture and traditions. So we're going to tell you a little bit about these traditions. I said in November 1st and 2nd, people in the southern areas of the country, they the offerings, they bring food and beverages to dead people, and then they set up the altars at homes, and then they go to the graveyard, and they all spend the night there. Some people play music there, and they spend the night there, as I said. So the second day, the first day is for the children, the dead children. Second is for the adult children, dead, and we continue with these traditions. But this, because this is a very strong tradition in our country, even here, people who have migrated from different states, they come here and they keep their celebration intact in this area. So in San Quintin, for instance, we have different peoples, and then when we have it, the city becomes very colorful these days, and each one of those colors has a meaning for each one of the cultures. So by the end of the day, they all come to, in the end, we'll get together in this cosmovision and the community, a very rich community. So this annual celebration represents as a sacred moment for us, so we can get in touch with our human side, because we get to spend time with our ancestors, and we also get to spend time with the community members. So it is all these traditions and different celebrations, they can express through art, the music, literature, and painting, among others. So this has become even more important in recent times. As I said, this is popular. These are our popular traditions, and we should protect them at all costs. Thank you. Thank you. Now with the Dr. Ivonne Oregel, she'll tell you about the importance of the spreading the information on TB among the populations. I think Dr. Fatima will give a few words first. She's the director for this program, right? Well, I can speak now if you want. Well, something that we are doing right now, I want to thank Raquel and all the team that have been working on this about this forum. We need to talk about TB, because TB usually requires a lot of many tools to reach the healing process, and not only drugs. Today, now that the social media have become such an important tool that allow us to communicate emotions immediately, because reach people immediately. So now all these images, we can use images, but also add some text and videos. So this becomes very powerful. And then we can make art here, and art is a way we can approach emotions. So behind each one of our patients, we have more than just a disease. We have emotions involved in this person. So this literary contest could become a transformation, personal transformation process for all the stakeholders, even the patients and their families, and those who have lost a family member to tuberculosis. So, and also all the people involved in who care for these patients, not only at the clinics and the healthcare centers, but the society, the communities. They should know that all the community should be aware of this, so we can know that TB is present, that is still part of our community, and we should be empathetic to patients. We should not stigmatize or discriminate against our fellow community members just because they suffer from TB. And we should educate all the stakeholders and all the people around them, so we don't discriminate against these patients. I see. This is a preventable disease. It's a curable disease, and it's everywhere, because as Dr. Bidet said, we're all at risk. If you breathe, you're breathing, you're at risk of catching TB. So, and also need to see how we can create alliances with different sectors beyond the health sector, so we can actually come with a work team, and we can all contribute from our ends to be able to have a single purpose, preventing and controlling TB, and aspiring to one day maybe say we are TB free in our country. So I want to thank all the team that made this possible, and all the participants. Thank you for sending in your work, and thank you for inviting me. We want to thank Dr. Origel for your words. Now I'll pass the floor to Dr. Fatima Luna, who will share a few words with us. Hi, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to participate in this event. So what can I say? The TB has always been it's always been one of the subjects that are very passionate subjects, and art is a very good way to express what we see on a daily basis on TB patients. So you have been a cornerstone for this in our country, because we have different artistic expressions that we can use to communicate the message. We can highlight the tough part of TB. And maybe we can talk about La Montaña Mágica and Damas de las Comedias, all the literature, the Miserables, Les Miserables as well. Oh, because literature has always been a very strong tool for us to reach the community. And in that, in addition to add, we add Mexican traditions. I think we are doing great. And basically, what we're trying to do here is that we're trying to spread the message and to get everyone talking about TB. We want to embrace these traditions and own them and put them into work for us, to discuss, to put this subject on the table. So I want to congratulate everyone. I hope we got very good response, and we got very good TB Calaveritas, very good TB literary participation. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Fatima Luna. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Eunice Vargas Riveros, who is a research professor at the architecture and design in the UBC Ensenada. She will give us an explanation on this literary contest in Mexico. Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, let me tell you something. The Calavera or Calaverita, which is a Dia de Muertos literary tradition that has to do with the Day of the Dead. These origins date back to the colonial times. They are also known as graveyards, literary calaveras. They are made up by a series of rhythms and verses that are poetic compositions that express witty commentary on death. But what highlights, as I said, that they always talk about death. Death plays a very important role, and they use some witty and funny comments to convey a message. Usually, they also come with imaginary cartoons of the people or the subject that this is being dealt with. So some of the precedents for Calaveritas, they go to the colonial times. The life of death, but it was published back in 1792. In this work, we see several elements, as well as reading that use solemn text and funny text, tragic and comedy, terrible text and grotesque text, around a plot that we have a personification of death as a skeleton that walks among the living, and also shows terrible events in history at the time. It was also a text that showed death with some wit, a very colloquial way of expression. Jose Guadalupe Susadas adopted this style to illustrate the skinny one, the death. However, After the independence of Mexico, these literary expressions became stronger. Because during the colonial times, there was a lot of censorship. I wouldn't allow to publish this everywhere. One of the oldest publications that is kept in our libraries dates back to 1849. A critical journalist called The Socialist. It was edited in Guadalajara, Jalisco by Jose Indelicato. But it was during the second half of the 19th century when they become even more prominent and they become more popular among the population who are used to political instability that was characteristic for the country during the first decades of its history. So these literary calaveras that were published in printed media were made up of verses where we would criticize high society because they wanted to look the European elites, and they were inspired by the long epitaphs and the fancy costumes that these people would wear out in public. And the time the critic was a way of protesting for community injustice, and it would always look for common well-being. Jose Guadalupe Posada, a famous illustrator who created the famous image of the dead, who was named Katrina by the muralist Diego Rivera, which we know today, in this funny and somewhat would always make fun of fancy people through Calaveritos. And these illustrations, we still use them on the Day of the Dead. It was he who gave an appearance alive to the Catrina among the Mexican population. Currently, they are still used, and then they are being taught at schools in elementary school. They are a legacy of Mexican tradition that help to express feelings towards a person that in other contexts would probably be very difficult to express. But there's no better excuse than the Day of the Dead to express everything we have within. Some of the characteristics for the literary calaveritas are they are written in verse, in which we can find some kind of rhyme, and they are made up by one or several paragraphs, and usually have 4 verses per paragraph. The main characteristic is satire, in a very ironic tone, expressing some discontent towards the actions or attitudes of a person or situation. They are written as an epitaph, matching in the context within their written Day of the Dead. Usually have some images that reminiscent of death. We usually use La Catrina and the death as part of the illustrations. They always come with a person the calaverita is about. They are written not only for the Day of the Dead, but they are done some days prior to the celebration. They are published in different media. They were made in order to express some ideas and thoughts that were kept in order to tell someone something without being too direct. It was ideal pretext to express everything without giving more further explanations. So yes, I'm gonna read an example of a calaverita. Let TB friends were together witnessing TB forum. With grace and attention, they would receive information in each one of the sessions in order to solve problems. All of a sudden, an uninvited fancy lady showed up. Worked hard and solved problems, because soon we'll be in trouble. I will take whoever did not help to those in need. So thank you. Now I'm gonna pass the floor to Dr. Laura Dora Luz Flores to continue with our agenda.
Enseguida.
Creo que la doctora Flores está en el canal de español.
I think Dr. Flores in the Spanish channel. Can you please
Buenos
go
días.
to the main channel?
Hola, buenos días.
Estás creo que en el canal de inglés.
I don't know, maybe she's saying English channel. Are you there? Doctor, you're switching languages. Dora, ¿podrías ponerle
Okay.
audio original? Original audio. Let's see if I can do it myself. We're having some technical difficulties here.
Buenos días. Buenos días. Buenos
Sería en audio original, Dora. Ni inglés ni español. Audio original. Para apagar la traducción y que podamos escucharte.
buenos días.
En lo que resolvemos problemas técnicos, les agradecemos, por supuesto, su...
While we solve these technical difficult issues, I want to thank everyone for being here. I don't know, maybe Dr. Raquel can give us a few words while we solve this situation. Yes, if you want. Seritia, can you please read the second and the first places for the first category? Hi, good morning. Yes, we're gonna give we're gonna word the first category. Yeah, let's not speak so fast. Yeah, and the second place. The skinny lady came to visit in the north to visit her cousin. Sorry, but audio is terrible. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yes, we can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we can hear you now. Yeah, let's start from the top. The skinny one came to visit, and then came north to visit her cousin, and then she will find in Ensenada studying medicine. However, she would forget that here not only COVID was an issue, there were also a little cough. TB was called. The BCG vaccine was not available. We lost her again. We lost audio again, sorry. She went to a little school with the medicine students. It would tell them they're rifampicin. Sorry, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. Can you hear me now? Yeah, we couldn't hear for maybe the last 30 seconds. Yeah, we couldn't hear the. Could you please, Jose Luis, could you please read the whole You read it? Yes. Okay, the second place goes to Jacqueline Valdez Quintana. This is the Calaverita. The skinny one came to visit up north to visit her cousin, and there she would find her in Ensenada studying medicine. However, she would forget that here not only COVID was an issue, there was also a little cough. TB was called. The BCG vaccine was not available, and TB, she would catch TB. She lost 10 kilos in a month, and coughs would keep going. She went to a little school with the medicine students to get her little doses of rifampicin. Wait up, skinny one. I need to take a sample for a vacilloscopy to get done. Her outcomes would be positive, and then she would be healed in 3 months. Oh, poor little skinny one. Thank you so much. Can you please also read the first place for this category? Yes, the first place goes to Maria Fernanda Alvarado Ruiz. It's very old and very silent. It could be active or latent. It likes to be called dangerous, and now I'm part of her file. It's hard to believe that it can take you away. It's a little cough and a little cold, that no more. But if you don't want to respect it, be sure that you will leave us soon. TB will not forgive, and it lacks attention. You want to watch the people around you. Wear a mask in the activation, so you don't continue the light at the end of the tunnel. Like Katrina is afraid and makes it work a lot. He also wants to take a break. So let's all work together. Let's prevent this. I think it's important for you to learn how to take care of yourself. Get vaccinated, or you want to catch TB. Thank you. Professor Ever. These two are from the School of Life Sciences with the UBC, the two winners. We have Dora, she's back. Maybe we can go back to Dora. Yes, please. Dora, please. Doctor. Yes. Good morning. Can you hear me now? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Well, then, we're gonna read the winners for the category number 2. Yes, in this category we only have a single winner. Yes, okay, perfect. So I'm going to read the Calaverita, who was awarded the first place. Edwin was his name. Schrodingen was his last name. No one liked that man and what happened to him. From mathematician, physician was he, but no one, even the skinny one, would laugh at him if he had to add a number. And the boss didn't know if the cat was still alive. With the skinny one, he would argue and lie, and time he would spend in his being, there was a shadow growing that in every sunset would make him cough and sweat. The skinny one murmured, and the answer gave the guy did not torture and announced his death. The black pest was not the black pest, it was probably something else. It was just a lot of coughing and a very loud death. TB was diagnosed, and his family members cried while his remains were burned, trying to get it, and the skinny one were watching. A bacteria in his lung did a lot of damage, so don't go with the big fat guy and don't be stingy, because a treatable disease, if we know the species, it can be healed with antibiotics if you try hard. This was the Calaverita for category number 2. Now we'll go with the second place for the category 3. In category 3, we are going to read the Calaverita from the second place, and the winner is Professor Javier Robles Flores, who works at the Health Science School. Dr. Muñiz was here with a hard feeling in her chest. She thought it was just cough, but TB was there. She had a thorax X-ray to make sure it was everything was fine. What she didn't expect was being scared by this. What she got thinking and thinking to the point of getting worried with Dr. Laniado. She went to Dr. Laniado to get a prescription. When on her way to the doctor's office, she started coughing. She was walking very weak, and she thought he was never gonna make it. Death was there waiting for her, but not for the doctor's visit, but to go to the beyond. It could not be prevented, but death was very lucky for winning a very good element. It's a doctor's soul that is out there who is a mediator, so that the sequence of TB becomes benefited by all the work in the researchers. And the first place for category number 3 is for my Professor Yahuara Navamoran from the language school in Campus Ensenada. I come here with a history class. It's actually more like an ethics class, and my aunt Cara was taken by death. This is because she started very. Oh, my aunt was such a good lady. She was strong and healthy, but who would have thought? She had very good lungs, but she would like to go sing and be loud at parties. She was never afraid if the white pest would kill anywhere it would go. Those diseases from the 18th century were very popular. What are you telling me? I don't even believe in COVID anymore. It was one of those nights. Aunt Carla suffered from diaphoresis. You would have never, who would have thought what she had was TB? She went from one doctor to another, and the one who they said is a coughing. It's a what? She started crying because in Ministry 21st, homophobia was not part of this. Hemoptysis, Carla, please come on. Do not overreact. Well, my poor Aunt Carla felt like life was leaving her body. Almost, I said, gosh, bacillum. Who would have said that TB? Who saw TB, identified TB for the first time? Don't give him all the credit to him, but it was Scheuling who baptized this disease. And Carla started treatment with antibiotics, cleansings, and good vibes, because at this point she said, I'll do anything. Even so, the skinny one was following her steps, and Aunt Carla still had her crazy nights. From pub to pub, she would just go rehopping every night. And the skinny one told her, what's going on with you? Come with me, because you're already a dying patient. So, hey, listen, all my friends, this kind of ethics and history class will be more like a lesson. Nourish, they get infected, and ventilate your areas, because TB is already multi-drug resistant, and the skinny one comes and takes anyone. Doesn't matter whether you were like Aunt Mara, even the best patient. Thank you so much. No, thank you. All the contestants and the second TB literary contest. We're gonna get in touch with the winners to give them their prizes. Next week, we're gonna have the sixth session for the International Virtual Forum on TB 2022. So please, you cannot miss it. And keep your eyes open for the next sessions and the next speakers. Same time, same channel. You know where to find us. No, thank you, everyone. Thank you and congratulations.
Detengo grabación.
Sepa.
Ya estamos fuera, doctora.
Ok, gracias.
Recording stopped.
Thank you. Gracias. Gracias, doctora Fátima. Ay, se me fue la doctora Ivonne.
Por nada, un placer. Yo le digo a Ivonne, cuídense mucho.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Bye.
Gracias.
Hasta luego.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
¿Qué
Nos
onda?
llevas al límite, te pasa, Raquel.
Al segundo.